To be successful in life, I think there's a lot of qualifiers. One that I actually talk about from time to time is emotional intelligence. So clearly, as a human species, we all experience emotion, and we often interpret that emotion and find healthy ways to express it. I think a lot of the people that are really successful, and even a bigger group of the unsuccessful people, are because they either have very high or very low emotional intelligence, meaning they understand what they're feeling and how to properly display it. So for example, cowardly keyboard warriors who make really stupid comments have very low emotional intelligence. That's why they live with their mom. And just like everyone, I struggle with emotional intelligence, but I think mine's pretty high. Which is why today we're going to do episode 4 of stupid things that just piss me off. See? High emotional intelligence. As the Extreme channel is pushing towards 50,000 subscribers, these are just a few of the statues we're giving away on the journey there. If you want to know how to win one, stay tuned for later in the video. Hey, welcome to the Extreme channel. Another different video today. I've had so much fun doing these, of looking at things that piss me off, or as I call it, chat my ass. They're everyday things that a lot of us run into, and most of these are caused by other human beings, and I just can't believe that people are this stupid. But I guess, yeah, I can. Never mind. That's a pretty easy leap. So like I said, this is actually the 4th installment of this. It all started with this first episode right here where I talked about things within the collecting realm. But then it really spawned out of control, and it was things I run into in everyday life. And these videos, what I've been doing is as I run into them or realize it's something, and it's not just a one-time occurrence, but these are things I consistently deal with, whether it's weekly or monthly or annually. I throw them on a list, and when I get enough, we have another video. Well, I have enough, and it may be because of the holidays, which is going to be number 1 on the list. Why are people so aggressive and impatient during the holidays? The holidays are a great and wonderful time. Sure, you have a lot to do. Sure, you have to spend a lot of money. But isn't that life in general? You always have a lot to do, and you always have to spend a lot of money. My wife and I, believe it or not, especially back in our bargain days, we were Black Friday shoppers. Yes, we would get up at 3 a.m., go to the stores at 4 a.m. For those of you that don't know, Black Friday used to be a huge event that you could only buy stuff in person. And the stores would open like at 8 a.m. and you have to line up at 4 a.m. Some people even camped outside in tents overnight. And then eventually they started opening at 7 a.m. and 6 a.m. and 4 a.m. And then eventually it went to midnight and 10 p.m. on Thanksgiving. And now that it's been online, especially with the pandemic, it's really not a big thing anymore. And while people were much more aggressive during those times, I would have a blast. Part of that is I'm a very big guy. So usually like my wife and her sister, who are very small, would get in right behind me and I would charge ahead. So something I've talked about in previous videos, and this really isn't something that pisses me off, but it may be something that pisses you off, is when I'm walking, I'm a power walker. And actually, they brought it up in this video right here, where a bunch of us collectors were talking about a show we saw in Vegas. They were surprised that Mr. X just is gone. He's a power walker. And because I'm a bigger guy and I walk with a purpose, people usually move out of my way. But I'm so used to it, I didn't really know it was a thing that if you're a smaller person or you don't walk like that, you have to actually dodge around people, where I don't. They just kind of move out of your way. It reminds me of that scene in The Princess Bride. So while it's not something that pisses me off, it may be something that pisses you off if you're one of those people who have to move out of my way. That wasn't even on the agenda to talk about today, but it's my channel, so I can talk about whatever the hell I want. But let's dive back into things that piss me off besides how cranky people are during the holidays. The next thing, I really don't want to get political, but this is very evident in the political arena. Number 1 is how people can't let things go. When there's someone I don't like or I despise, I don't give them much attention or time. But my God, some people, and it can be said on both sides, on Twitter more for Trump than Biden, but they just can't let go of Donald Trump. He's no longer president. He's not going to be president again. They are so obsessed with every little thing he does. And again, you see it on the flip side for Biden. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Those people who can't let go of that shit are people with low emotional intelligence. And if that really pissed you off, you're like, well, Biden's such a horrible president. Or Trump did all these horrible things. Does it really affect you? Let it go. Be happy. And if you can't, you probably have low emotional intelligence. Another thing I think of people of low emotional intelligence. So recently I did the statue awards right here, and I bashed a few statues. One of them I bashed, and I said I'm not trying to shit on people who like this statue, this is just my opinion, was Prime One Studios' Heath Ledger Joker. And then I saw someone post a snippet from my video in a Facebook group. And some of the people were like, if you don't like this, you're just stupid. And I saw someone comment, the perfect comment. They're like, considering art is subjective, couldn't you say that if you like it, you're stupid? It really seems like people don't understand the irony that if you're bashing someone's opinion for disagreeing with your opinion, you are the biggest fucking hypocrite in the world. That just blows my mind. That if you have a different opinion than me, you're wrong and you're stupid. These people don't necessarily have low emotional intelligence. They just have low intelligence in general. It's okay that they have a different opinion than somebody. Speaking of statue collecting, all right. We are all anxious to get statues, and I know not everybody gets as many as me. You don't have, a few coming each month or even more than that. Sometimes people have one a year or sometimes even less than that. So I understand delays suck, but my God, you don't need to post it on social media. I've been burdened so horribly that a statue that I don't need and I spent money on that I shouldn't have is going to come 2 months later than it originally was. I've been waiting 18 months and now I have to wait 20. Please feel bad for me. Who fucking cares if it's late? And again, if you really are that upset, low emotional intelligence. So now I want to totally switch gears towards driving. I thought of more driving stuff, and I don't drive much anymore simply for the fact that I work from home and I travel a lot. But number one, it is winter, so it is snowing. And part of this may be because over 20 years ago, I had a horrible accident in the winter. I hit some black ice going like 60 miles per hour, and I rolled a vehicle 7 or 8 times. It was very bad. So in the snow, when it's slick and snowing and ice, I leave a little bit of extra distance to the person in front of me. It amazes me how many people will tailgate when you're going the speed limit. You're not even going under the speed limit, but there was snow on the ground and they are tailgating you for going the speed limit. Are you asking to die? Your license should be suspended immediately, in my opinion. I've talked about tailgaters before in these videos, but when you do it in the winter, when someone is going the speed limit and it's snowing, that just drives me to another level. No pun intended. Now, another one that drives me nuts is when you are in a right turn lane at a 4-way stoplight. Sometimes the traffic going in this direction will have left turn lights where they are going this way. You can go right. Now I understand some people aren't smart enough to figure that out, so they'll just sit there with their blinker just waiting and waiting and waiting. But some intersections have a right green arrow. 50% of fucking people don't see it. They will sit there waiting when there's a right green arrow and you have to honk your horn 50% of the time. What is wrong with you? When I'm in a car, I'm trying to get somewhere. I'm not taking my time. But what's even worse than that is, let's switch to the other side, the left turn lane. Now this can also be said at stoplights when you're going straight, but it's more prevalent in the left turn lane. Those people that are never paying attention. I watch like a hawk if I'm the front of the line every single time. I understand people get distracted because they're stupid and they're doing stuff they shouldn't, but it amazes me when it's a very short turn light and people aren't paying attention, so they finally go. Car or third car back, it doesn't matter. But let's say they hesitated. So the light's been green for 1 second or 5 seconds or 10 seconds or however long that is. Then they floor it and they run the light after it's turned red. That drives me nuts. It's like, okay, now I missed the light because of you, but you're going to commit an illegal status. That absolutely drives me nuts. It really reminds me of that scene in Italian Job.
A weapon. Great! I don't want to see you anywhere near this. Putting your bag on your weapon.
Another one, not a big one, but being late. Being late in general drives me nuts. I think I've been late 3 times in my life, and every single time I was going to be late, I notified the people that I was going to be late. Now, granted, technology is much different than it was 20 years ago. This old company I used to work for, I'd run a monthly meeting with like 100 people. And it was once a month, always at 7 a.m. And people would always come in late and they'd be like, sorry, traffic. And I'd be like, yeah, us 95 people were all helicoptered in. We had the same traffic. You've lived in the same state for X number of years. Surely you know that shit can happen. Plan on being there 15 minutes early. If someone's ever late to an interview, they are done, in my opinion, unless they call in. If they call in, hey, there's a huge accident on the interstate, I'm stuck behind a train, I think that's a little different. But if you are late to an interview without calling in, you do not get the job no matter what. Back in the days when I would have to drive to an interview, nowadays whenever I'm at an interview, I'm flown somewhere, I would get there an hour early just to make sure I found out where the place was, and then I'd go hang out somewhere nearby for 30 minutes. But just being late in general, to me it is so much disrespect. I had a friend growing up, still a good friend, Andy, he watches some of these, we would always tell him whenever time the event started, like if it started at 9 p.m., we would tell him it started at 8:30 and he'd show up at 9:05. And he didn't know this for years, but we always told him 30 minutes early. Okay, here's one. So as I sell so many statues, I go to UPS a lot, or my wife does. But I love walking into UPS, and sometimes we'll bring in 8 70-pound boxes. And we're sitting there holding them or whatever that is, and it's not convenient, obviously. And the person in front of me is sending a package, a small package, whatever it is. I see it all the time. And they are asking about the different rates. Okay, if you send it via overnight, it's $16. 2 days, it's $12. 3 days, it's $8. And then the person will sit there and contemplate it for literally 5 minutes and ask questions about each specific service. Who fucking cares? It's like a $4 difference. Just pick one and send it. Make a decision, especially when people are standing behind you holding 70-pound boxes. This fucking drives me nuts. And again, I don't think a sign of low emotional intelligence, a sign of low intelligence in general. If $4 is going to break your bank, you probably shouldn't be mailing whatever you're mailing. There are some exceptions to this next one. But people who FaceTime in public, I don't fucking get it. So I understand if you are at a resort or you're at some type of touristy attraction and you want to show it to someone else, whether it's close friends or family, especially if your immediate family is not with you. I get that 100%, and I ain't shitting on that. But you see people do it like in office buildings, public areas, malls. Why the hell are you FaceTiming in public? I don't understand that. And this leads into my next one. These people in the fucking grocery store that are on their phones driving their shopping carts everywhere, and they can barely drive them. So in the few times I have a full shopping cart, and I don't because we go shopping a lot, so we usually just get a few things at a time, and I get a call, I pull over to the side and I focus just on the call. And if I get a call, it's an important call. It's usually business related or something important. But some of these morons that I listen to, yeah, he's going to go to summer camp this week, blah, oh shit, just hit somebody, sorry. Why are you having that conversation when you're trying to do something else when you obviously can't walk and chew gum at the same time? And speaking of grocery stores, oh, this drives me nuts. I think this meme right here that I posted on Extreme Channel social media says it all. I mean, seriously, how fucking lazy are you? You have got to be the laziest person on the fucking planet not to put a cart back in the cart corral. I wish there was some way we could see the people who were going to do that right when they parked, because I would put carts all around their car. Unfortunately, you only get to see as they're leaving. But I don't care how cold it is. I don't care if it's raining. I have always in my life put a cart in a cart corral simply to protect other drivers. Now, when I was 14 years old, I had a job at a grocery store, and my job was to push in all the carts. And we didn't have any of those fancy machines that pushed it for you. And I don't want to hear the argument, well, Mr. X, sometimes there's not a cart corral close. Close? You just walked through a fucking store. It's closer than the entire walk you just did at the store. Come on. There is zero excuse. And again, I know I'm hearing an argument. Mr. X, some people are physically handicapped. Yeah, the Karens leaving it there because they're too lazy are not doing it because they're physically handicapped. All right. So again, if any of these really upset you, that's okay. It's okay to feel those emotions. However, if you feel a need and you follow through on that action to leash out, even at me, feel free to do so. But again, you're just showing you have very low emotional intelligence. And I know what you're thinking. Well, Mr. X, you're getting to do it right now. That's because I'm special, bitch. We will be giving all of these statues away, plus additional ones at every 5,000 subscriber milestone. To win one of these statues, all you have to do is make sure you've liked this video, you've subscribed to the channel, you've hit that bell notification, and then just drop a comment below. Every 5,000 subscriber milestone, we are going to do a random drawing and pick a random comment and give one of these statues away, plus some additional ones I'm not showing right now. The more videos you comment on, the higher your chances are to win. Hey, I'm just kidding. No, I wasn't. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate you guys. I like doing these videos. Maybe they're more for me than you, but if you like stuff like this, you like the collectibles we talked about, hit that subscribe. And then at the very least, hit me a like or a thumbs down. That helps too. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Take care of yourself. Don't hate. You can hate me. Don't hate others. Shows low emotional intelligence.